Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Mountain Man Monday. I'm your host, Mr. Mountain Man, and this is live stream episode number 75. Today is May the 17th, 2021. I hope you've had a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Thank you for being patient this evening while I got everything assembled and got here to be with you all. I want to welcome everyone to the live stream who might be joining us live this evening or later on the Mr. Mount Man YouTube channel. As always, all the live streams are archived and available under the live stream playlist. Once again, I hope everybody's having a wonderful start to their week. It's been busy start to today, but we always wind it down on Monday, getting together, having a nice friendly chat from here in Western North Carolina and see what everybody's doing. I see a few people have rolled in here already. Larry is here. Happy Mountain Man Monday to you as well, Larry. Hope things are going well for no particular reason. Just have been getting the itch to watch documentaries about theme parks. I've watched a few things about Cedar Point and Cedar Fair Entertainment. One little nugget of interestingness I never knew of interest. That's interesting. I think I made up a word there, but Cedar Fair is a combination of Valley Fair and Cedar Point. Those and the gentleman that was the I think the park manager in the late 80s, he wanted to get a job at Disney World back in the 70s. They didn't hire him, so he got a job at Cedar Point as the assistant manager to food and beverage. And then he made his way up through the chain, did a great job. They moved him over to Valley Fair. He didn't have a college degree, so some people were questioning his ability to run a park. He went back to school. He did great things, came back to Cedar Point, and then continued to build a lot of the mega coasters like Magnum XL 200 and a lot of the others. He was behind a lot of those initiatives. So why am I saying that to Larry? If anybody doesn't know, is because he lives up in that neck of the woods near Cedar Point. And so I just thought I'd mention a few words about that. Hope Faith is here. How are you doing today? I'm doing well. And Hope Faith, I hope you are as well. Thank you for joining us here on the live stream. I'm always trying to get the camera adjusted right because it's either like I'm sinking down and it's like, hey, everybody, or my head's like off the top, like from up here or something like that. So just trying to get it adjusted correctly. And, if I do this, it's going to get out of focus, but let's see. Of course it had to do that. Let's do the old fancy get back in focus thing. Unless I put a fingerprint on it, that could be it too. There we go. Magic trick. Maybe that'll be better. I'm going to tell you right now, my voice is already feeling strained a little bit. So bear with me. Hey, Rita's here. Hello, Larry and Hope. And must be out on a ride. I was just getting dotting the I's and crossing the T's with the family and getting everything settled. And usually that's the backstory to what happens on Monday. It's either I get in before all of the evening routine, and that's why you see me on really early, or it ends up being like everything is squared away, and then I have some quiet time to do this. And hence why it's later here on the East Coast, 9:45. I did say 8:30 to 9:30. I apologize about the delay from the start, but I was moving as quickly as I could. Having beautiful weather. Let me tell you something. It is gorgeous outside. Spring has sprung. We're done. It's like everything's fully bloomed. The tree leaves are luscious green. The mountains are magnificent. The air is crisp. It's wonderful. It's wonderful right now. And in many parts of the country, not just here in Western North Carolina. I know, having lived in other areas, including the Midwest, in Ohio and other places and other parts of North Carolina, this is just a real nice time of the year. Now down south, May, like in Florida and such, you're already feeling summer. It's in the thick of it. So, hey, we got AZ Rock here. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man. Hello, everyone here. Hope you're having a great start to your week. A nice Monday. Let us know how you're doing. And great to see you on the live stream. Yes, welcome to the Mountain Man live stream, because I know some of these comments were posted, and I think you all can let me know. What I do is, because I have some gear to set up here to get ready for these live streams, what I do is I initiate the live stream to let it, in my estimation, maybe buffer and get set up. And by the time I started, as I'm finishing a few things, It seems to start the live stream with a higher quality than if I just go click, click, click and start. It's not an artificial delay. I purposely just started as I'm still getting all the things ready. But when I go look at the live streams on the channel, it appears that at the beginning that it's starting off really nicely. So, hey, Big Daddy, I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Foxy Wolf is here. It might be tax day, but what is important in my mind that it is Mr. Mountman Monday live stream. Of course, we got to get out the old hammer, the Thor's hammer here from my buddy over at the White Lab Workshop. Not everybody starts with the Mr. White Lab. No, White Lab Workshop. Brent over at the White Lab Workshop. And it is tax day. And you know what? I procrastinate. No, I digress. I did not procrastinate. It took a long time for me to get everything assembled. I always do my own taxes, and it was the normal paperwork, but some of the rules have changed and such. Of course, the tax software figures that all out for you, but getting everything assembled, I didn't actually finish my taxes until this past weekend. And so I'm happy that that's done and out of the way, because that had been looming over for some time. And I am doing well, and I hope everybody here is also. Yes, interesting facts about Cedar Point. There's just a plethora of good, if you all like any walk of life, of anything, just put in your favorite topic and then add the word documentary on YouTube and something will come up. I mean, it could be about your favorite movie. It could be about flowers. It could be about theme parks, Disney, computers, history of this, that, and whatnot. It could be anything arbitrary: speakers, bicycles, tools, microphones. Doesn't even have to be an object. It could be the art of something, or art, or music. But it's just kind of fun. Not everybody likes that style of watching things, but I find it enjoyable to kind of learn about the history of something. I particularly like more modern history. So like of the era when I grew up, I really enjoy things of like 80s era documentaries, whether that's the kind of the advent of the home computer that really took shape in that era, or video games, any of the 80s type decade type stuff, the financial period during that time from 80 to 90, just a lot of stuff I just find very interesting. Everybody's saying howdy, 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 and confirmation audio and video are looking good. Another thing, I said my voice is straying a little bit. This microphone, I don't need to do that. Like if I could learn, I do the same thing in the car. So in my Mustang, there's a Bluetooth headphone, one of those setups. And when I talk on it, it's like I'm projecting to a person that's 25 feet away. And it's the same thing with this mic. This mic is incredible. And I should be able to use like a low voice and still have the energy and not have to project like I'm talking to somebody in the other room. Like I'm literally talking to you all that are in Tennessee and other parts of North Carolina and Florida and across the country. That might help a little bit. But I also, the volume's good. I'm looking at what I'm looking over out of the controls for the adjustment. But anywho, what I'm saying is I could probably save my voice a little bit. Don't have to speak with such volume. Stacy Fowler is here. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you are doing well and having a nice start to your week. Thank you for joining us. Let's see here. Everybody's just saying hello to each other. Please keep me in mind if you would. Pray for me. I've been under the weather this week. Certainly hope you will. Maybe feeling a little bit better, get on the up and up. Maybe starting today, maybe this will feel a little better with the folks that are here on this live stream to get you in a good mood. Larry says, my middle daughter graduated college yesterday with her teaching degree. Big weekend. Our oldest daughter and grandson was up for the weekend too, from Tennessee too. That is fantastic. Well, congratulations. First, that's great to see family. A huge congratulations to your middle daughter that graduated college. Such an accomplishment and such a priceless thing. I mean, you hear like education's priceless, but it really, really is. It has done me well and served me extremely well. And I think that's a fantastic thing. So congratulations to your family, to your daughter. Yes, prayers for you, Hope. Larry procrastinated. He did them last night. Whatever. In fact, I was rushing like a month ago on the traditional date. And then I had mentioned something to my sister or somebody else. And they're like, that it's extended. And I thought it was one of those deals where, okay, it's extended, but you have to apply for the extension or something. Did a few research. And sure enough, nope, because of the pandemic, they had extended it. And it was just, so then I just kind of was like sick of, just exhausted from just like go trying to get them done. So I just put it on the back burner, and then I got back to it like a week ago. All done. Yes. Great time for the family and for lots of congratulations to go around for you. Have I been to the Mile High Swinging Bridge? I have not. And that is a great question. And I hesitate because I have an interesting relationship with heights. Some bother me, some don't. If I am in what I would kind of categorize as like a stable height, that could be an airplane or a building or on a large mountain or something like that, I'm pretty good. What I'm not great at is what is I think of as like unstable heights. That would be a Mile High Swinging Bridge. But if you're talking about let me finish my thought, and then I'll go back to the actual bridge itself. The other things are things like tall Ferris wheels. I remember when down in Daytona at the track for the Rolex 24 Hours, there was this huge Ferris wheel they put on the infield, and that I didn't feel very comfortable on. And some roller coasters that are really high, when it gets up to the top, I just feel super nervous. Now, the Mile High Swinging Bridge is at Grandfather Mountain. I actually have been there. I went there with my sister, who you've seen on the channel in the Chimney Rock video. We went there about 15 to 17 years ago. We went to that. She did not care for it. I remember at the time it did not bother me. So I said unstable heights, but for some reason, the mile high is because the elevation, but there's not a mile of it doesn't, when you look below the bridge, it's not like you're looking down 5,280 feet. So that it just goes into like a dip in the mountain. So it doesn't feel as bad. So actually that particular bridge it wasn't a problem for me. And I do look forward to going back there to Grandfather Mountain. I'm certainly going to go there at some point and make a video. I got close last year. I think it was last year, but the tickets ran out the particular weekend I was looking at, and I never did end up getting to it. So that is a great question. Stacy says, doing well. Awesome. Doing okay. That's cool. Except on my end, your audio isn't matching up with your mouth, like watching an old Bruce Lee video. Is that true? Hold on. I'm looking at some of the settings. Is that true? Let me know. Let me get a confirmation on that if that's true. Let's see here. It should be okay. Let me see. What do we got here for audio? Nope, that's correct. Test. Echo cancellation, automatically adjust. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know. As you can see, I get concerned about stuff like that. Hey, Blondie's Adventures. Hello from Nashville, Tennessee. So you are away from home. Hope you are having a wonderful time down there in Tennessee. You're in Rita's neck of the woods, I think. So I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Fox said mine was doing that, backed out and came back in. Okay. The story is progressing. Let's see here. Hiya, Grandma Blondie, says everybody. Oh, that did work. Okay, so maybe something was up with YouTube. Wish you have a safe and wonderful trip. Wish me there as well. Yeah. Nashville is a cool place. I have not been in. Yes, I've been to Nashville when I was a little kid, but I don't remember anything about it. Definitely another place to go to. Yes, it should have been about Grandfather Mountain. Blondie already took off. Everyone have a blessed night. You as well. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you're having a wonderful trip. Give Mr. Mountain Man a big thumbs up. Yes, I'll take the little thumbs up, the big thumbs up, any kind of thumbs up, whatever you think. It's on my end. Okay, says Larry. Okay, cool. Sound picture good. Sound. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Everything good on my end. Thank you. I appreciate everybody saying that. Yeah, again, we've had some pretty good success here in the last 2 or 3 months, I think overall, just kind of throttling down of all the devices using the internet at the house, and kind of like that little thing about initiating the live stream a little bit early and stuff. The only thing I'm not doing myself any favors with is starting as late as I am. It's just that quandary between cutting out, the beginning of the week, seeing how everything's going at school with the kids and, the family and all that stuff. And the weekends, are so busy. I'm already not, unless we go over to Dollywood or go somewhere as a whole family, I tend to be running around even doing stuff on the weekends. So we're not always, together. So, anywho, I just, tweak the time a little bit. A lot of people go to bed at this time. So if you'll see, if I come on at like 6 or 7, people are, they're able to join us as well. Do you have any recommendations on anything for me to do in a wheelchair accessible like attractions or shows in Western North Carolina or East Tennessee? Yeah, so let's see. So I'm going to stick with Western North Carolina on this one. In no particular order, you could go to well, let's start with downtown Asheville, Asheville, North Carolina. You can go, for a stroll around the downtown. There are cafes and shops and restaurants. I will definitely be bringing that to you guys on the channel. The Biltmore itself is the crown gem around here, and as far as the ADA access, they have a FAQ, excuse me, like fact on their site, talking about accessible parking, ADA shuttles. They are, wheelchair friendly. The Arboretum in South Asheville, so looking at plants and some exhibits outside and some things, is an excellent choice as well. Let's see, what else can I think of? So we've got downtown Biltmore, the Arboretum. So then all the little small towns that I've talked about before, whether that's Hendersonville, we talked about Asheville, we talked about Little Switzerland, all these other ones, any of those cities, if you're just looking to be out in a mountain town, grab a bite to eat, do a little bit of shopping, and stroll around kind of leisurely and relaxing. Those are any of the towns that you fancy, that they definitely, you've got such a slew of towns around here: Boone, Brevard, Hendersonville, Little Switzerland, Bryson City, Maggie Valley. I'm only Black Mountain. There's just a ton of them. We've talked a lot about Mount Mitchell, going up to Mount Mitchell, which is a state park. And then up at least to the peak is wheelchair friendly because there's a ramp. So there are a few things right there for you. So hopefully that helps. I saw a video of people walking all over the rocks, and it made me nervous just watching. Are you talking about at the Mile High Swinging Bridge, Rita? Let me know if that's what you were talking about there. I threw my mom and her pup's ashes off the middle of the bridge straight into the Cherokee woods. Oh, on that. Well, that's a good, family moment for you, Foxy Wolf. And for that, I haven't been there in years and years, but just remember, I have pictures from my first digital camera there. So now when I bring them up on the monitor, they don't look that nice because there's, it's low resolution from back in the early 2000s, but I do have pictures from there. Hey, Kenneth Oaks, hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Let us know how you're doing. I watched a documentary on the Trail of Tears earlier, but didn't make it very far yet. So yeah, we've talked about that on this channel here before. And if you go over to the city of Cherokee, Larry, next time you're around these neck of the woods, I know you talk about coming to Western North Carolina, going over to Cherokee in the museum is a great way to experience that. They have their gift shop has a slew of literature on the Trail of Tears, and a good portion of the museum leads up to that. It's very informative. Here's another graduate, Kenneth. Yes, I remember you mentioning that. Congratulations to you as well on your hard work. That is awesome. Very, very cool. I have a cousin's weekend at the end of this month, and then me and my aunt may be doing something in October as well. That's really nice because I know, Hope, you're from the area or you've been in the area. I forget in Western North Carolina. Nobody, by the way, needs to say where they're from, only if they're comfortable. But I mean, nobody has to say anything specifically. I thought that you had mentioned that you were familiar with this area of the country. Third time we've seen you tonight. How many live streams were there? I know that, it's funny because the wider community, there's a lot of people who do live streams, and so I'm inferring from that there have been other live streams. Let's see. Yes, it was a beautiful place. Want to be back on the motherlands. That is cool. Yes, that's what you were talking about, the Mile High Bridge. Yeah, about the rocks and such. I know, again, my sister was really nervous. She's like, I wouldn't do that again. Yeah, so hopefully you got those recommendations from me, but some other people may have some recommendations for Hope Faith as well. And I had mentioned before, but those who may have not caught the ear of it, I went to that museum like right before I started this channel, so I'll have to go back. But actually, I prefer to have some prior knowledge of the videos where I shoot, because I think for me personally, just for what I want to deliver, it offers a better, I just think you know how I was talking about, I like to watch all the documentaries, and a lot of these little travel type videos are kind of like mini documentaries of a place that we go, a travel place. And so I like to kind of have some knowledge and background on what I'm looking at to add color and to kind of fill in the information. Some could look at that through another set of lenses and say, well, it's really neat to see something for the first time, have no prior experience, and just see what that perspective is like. And I've done some like that as well. So it's a mix. It just depends. But if I'm targeting like a city or an area, I kind of like to have some knowledge. So anyway, going back to the museum, it's kind of cool. I've been there because if I could go back and shoot maybe a little highlight reel from there would be nice. But some places they tell you right up front, like no video or pictures, allowed. And I can appreciate that, because if somebody filmed every square inch of a museum, then why do people need to pay for it? But it's kind of interesting because that argument has been made since I remember when VHS tapes came out. People were like, I remember the argument back then was the studios said nobody's ever going to go to the movies anymore. Well, that didn't pan out. It was no problem. Or everybody's going to record something and steal and nobody will pay for it anymore. Well, that didn't happen. And then, jump forward and Napster happened and download of MP3s, but then everything became digital anyway and people want to pay for it. It's cyclical, but people ultimately pay for the original content the best, for the most part. And so I think there's nothing like the real experience of being somewhere. So somebody can film, like every ride at Disney or every roller coaster first point of view. But, if it's a roller coaster or a ride, you can visually see it, but you can't use the other senses, which are the smell, touch, the feel, just all these different, other than just being able to visually see it. So anyway, that's a deep explanation on a lot of my thinking behind video making and such. Yes, definitely. Congratulations. Doing very well, Mr. Mountain. Thanks for asking. I'm 45 minutes to an hour from the state line. Okay, very cool. So you are there. Yeah. So here's another great suggestion from Foxy Wolf, the aquarium. So over in Gatlinburg, like many places are ADA, accessible, are friendly. The only thing that naturally, I don't even need to report on that, is just the crowds. So sometimes I remember being at very crowded places. I always was aware of folks that had to be in a wheelchair, that it may have been uncomfortable because of just, how busy it is. But maybe that doesn't bother some people. It's like, the more the merrier, it doesn't matter if there's thousands of people on the street. But, it can fill up parking, handicap parking, and other things like that. So just something to be aware of. But yeah, the aquarium itself has the ramps everywhere. So that's a great place to go. There were a ton of live streams tonight, more than I usually see on a Monday, but you rule, Mr. Mammon. I appreciate that, Larry, even if you're just blowing sunshine. Either way, I appreciate it. That's interesting because, on my phone, I get YouTube notifications, but only for the channel that I'm actively toggled. And what that means is not everybody has more than one channel, but because I do, if I'm on the Eclectic Candyman and some of the channels I follow have a live stream, I won't get the notification. And I get them so only if I'm logged into Mr. Mountain Man. But a lot of times I'm logged into Eclectic Candyman because I actually enjoy a lot of the videos on that side of the fence as well. Yeah, museum is really cool. Yes, definitely. Congratulations again on college graduation to Larry's daughter and to you, Kenneth Oaks, and to anybody else. Any grade doesn't have to just be college. Any shortage on gasoline there? Yes. So when I get to the news and notes, which I'll probably do shortly since I got on so late, I will expand on that quite a bit. But I can foreshadow to things are getting much better. Oh, if anybody notices, by the way, I don't know how clear the video is. You guys see a scrape right here? My family was making fun of me the other night. They're like, "You have this straight line down your nose." So what happened was, Saturday, um, I was cutting down a dead tree. The tree was probably about that big around, so I had the chainsaw out. It was kind of in an awkward position, though. There were other trees surrounding it. It was a little bit on a hill. Um, I couldn't get a good stance around it. It was kind of a pain, but I kept walking around. There were other trees around me, and I was just running into branches on another tree. It scraped me on the face. So I got in a fight with a tree. But anyway, it looks kind of weird. I can actually see it on the video. There's like this straight line where this branch I just kind of ran into and it went down my nose. The videos are great to see and get an idea of a place, but still not the same as being there. That's right. And I think that's why like not every place really has a problem. Like I remember when we had Disney passes, and by the way, I've thought about doing that before. I'm no shortage of content. I have a plethora of, as I've told you, of ideas and things. So um, I don't want to necessarily become the eclectic mountain man, but I had considered over the last couple of years about doing like a throwback Thursday type thing and releasing an old video that I had made of video quality, but prior to the Mr. Mountain Man channel, but put an intro and maybe an outro and cover it and add some explanation. I have some really cool videos from Disney World. Just to name some, I have some from just a whole bunch of different places like races and some other stuff that I could format and easily do that of content that I think people would thoroughly enjoy. It's just wouldn't have a modern, spin on it. But I've thought about doing that. I've never made that come to fruition. I wondered if folks would think that was a stab at being, trying to have filler, or something like that, because I have plenty of tremendous ideas and on that. But yes, they are great. Nothing like being their first person. Hey, everyone, don't forget to smash thumbs up. You do not have to pay Uncle Sam to go and do that right now. Very clever. I like that, Foxy. That's awesome. Awesome. Excuse me. I read a biography on Emma Gatewood. She walked up the Appalachian Trail at age 67. You should look this up. Pretty amazing story. Yes, that does sound like an amazing story in a good book. I actually should watch some documentaries or read on the Appalachian Trail, the AT, as people call it, doing that whole hike. It is pretty significant. I know the people, that talk about who have done it. I believe it takes a couple of months, doesn't it? Because you're going up and down the entire eastern seaboard. Yeah, that's crazy to do that at the age. It's also a testament to folks that just, keep on trucking and stay in great shape. I remember you like lighthouses as well. Did you see there were 4 that the Coast Guard wants an organization to take over? Interesting. Need to check them out now that the weather is nice. Now that you pointed out the scrape, I can barely see it. Yeah, if I move a little closer, you'll see it right there on my nose. So hopefully it gets better. I think the videos would be fun to see. Drag them out. Well, it's definitely an idea. I might do that, and I very well might do that because I have some first seat on some rides at Disney World. some of the events that were there. And one night I started looking at one, and my recollection of how good they were, I guess my bar has gone up because I remember recording them and being like, oh, these are awesome. And then, I watched them again. And I'm like, why did I do it from that angle? And how come I, stopped it at that point? I was really particular about it, but yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, maybe I will have to. I got some really awesome stuff because even before this channel existed, I wasn't shooting things for YouTube, but I always loved taking pictures and making videos. So that was so I definitely have some stuff on that end. It was good to know my cousin there first time 3 weeks ago. She used to live in Oregon. Okay. I guess you can't say I was no skin off your nose. Right. I'll tell you, that tree was a pain in the rear to get down. I don't know if the chainsaw blade is dull. I mean, I'm definitely not a lumberjack, even though I made that one video that was pretty cool. I liked it. And I liked the way that I shot the video. But yeah, I tried to use the right techniques about how to fell the tree and then back cut and do all this stuff. And but it just wasn't working perfectly. Eventually it came down, and then I chopped it up and took care of it. But yeah, you can find it on the internet about Emma Gatewood. I think she did it 3 times. Yeah, some people, it's amazing. Some people that hike, super long distances as well as bike riding. I know they're not one and the same, but it just reminds me of the endurance behind it. As I've gone up to Mount Mitchell and seen these folks on the bicycles, and let me tell you, not all of them have brown and blonde and black hair. A lot of people have gray hair, and they're riding up to Mount Mitchell. And I am like, you are awesome. I mean, that is amazing that people, in their latter years are riding bicycles up to Mount Mitchell. I think that's incredible. And so that's pretty cool. Be careful. My friend lost his life a few weeks ago to logging. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I knew this was a smaller tree and which way it was going to go, and I was right. But sure enough, I put a hard hat on and I had safety goggles, ear protection. That's not going to hurt you from a falling limb. But, I try to take it pretty seriously, and I won't do any big trees. Like, there was one last year that fell down in our backyard that was massive, but I would have never cut it from origin standing up. I have paid professionals to cut down the larger trees because that's a science. You don't just go straight to the bottom. They, go up to the top, they start cutting off branches, and then they'll cut off pieces and make their way down. The only things that I've basically done with the chainsaw are pretty much trees that have already fallen down or are dead and on the smaller side. But I yield to your advice because I do agree it is dangerous. I wish I would have tried that when I was younger. I like right after the Army when I used to do hiking. No way I could do it now. Yeah. If you were in the service, Larry, thank you for your service. Appreciate that. But that's, now just nice leisurely walks, around the block, whatever you can get outside. That's always a good thing. That's what I did this evening. I went on a little walk with the dog. I was exhausted today. I don't know what it was, but after dinner, and it's not usual, but I had to take a quick snooze for like 15 minutes. I was just super tired, and I could not get out of this fog this evening. So I went and walked the dog and got outside and got some fresh air, and I was much better. I think I have too much time on my hands. I've been watching mukbang videos. These people are crazy. Yes, I believe I have seen eating broadcasts in South Korea. Mukbangers take 10,000. That's so is it people? It stems from Korean culture of eating, right? That's what you have to inform me. I've heard that term before, but I am not intimately familiar with it. Some of those make me nauseated. Maybe it is right. Is your front and backyard full of trees? Yeah, we do have a ton of trees around us. Being here in the mountains, we definitely have a lot. And so some of those, when they die, you just, you either they fall or you gotta get rid of it and cut it down. Extreme eaters. Okay. All right. Eat, especially weird things. You know who used to be crazy that used to eat all kinds of crazy stuff? I don't know if he's still on TV, Andrew Zimmerman. You guys remember him from Travel Channel? The nicest guy. He was so polite and he could eat about anything in the world, almost anything, and nothing made him grossed out. I'm talking rodents and weird stuff, but he also ate delicatessen and really fine food. But I remember a couple things he didn't like. One was spam. Of all the things in the world, he'd eat like squirrel or weird, like just like possum or just I don't know stuff from in Asia, like just rats and bats and all kinds of weird stuff and brains and weird stuff of animals. But he didn't like spam. He did not like spam. He thought spam was disgusting. And the other thing was, it was funny. Speaking of Korea, he was in South Korea, like on the side of this mountain, and he ate this stuff called stinky tofu. And I guess it's like fermented rotten tofu. And he ate it. But the lady who owned the restaurant was very polite. I don't think she knew English, but he ate it. He was always so polite. So he's eating it and he's just disgusted. But he smiles when he does it. He's eating it. He's like, this is the absolute worst thing I have ever eaten in my life. This is really gross. And, so he couldn't, I'm sure the lady couldn't really tell. And he wasn't trying to be rude. He was just trying to report for the television show. And then later he was like, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your hospitality, stuff like that. So, yeah, weird things. That's something to watch. A few family members in service, but due to health issues, they had to get out before they had time to retire. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, thank you for anybody who was in the service for sure. Yuck. Yeah, those. I used to watch his shows. So gross. He's a super nice guy. He was actually, I think he's from Minneapolis area. So pretty cool. Hey, folks. Hey, Mike. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Nice Monday and gone on some nice hikes and enjoying that warm Florida weather. They eat seafood, live seafood that can kill you. Yeah, excuse me. One of the things, isn't there like a puffer fish or something that like only certain chefs in the world, they know how to cut it or use it. And if not, it's like toxic and poisonous. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff. All right. Well, we got a few folks here. Let me get into the housekeeping first for the week of May the 17th, 2021. So the first item of housekeeping is that I finally did shoot a video for the Mr. Mount Man channel. Woohoo! So I shot it and I've begun editing. That is a bit of a process because, I have to do that in my free time in the evenings. So we can expect, hopefully that video within, let's be realistic. I'm going to say within the next 2 weeks. My goal is maybe by the weekend if I could, but that would mean these videos take so long to upload. I have to be done by Thursday in order to have it ready by Saturday or Sunday because of how long they take to upload. So just, give me a little bit of time, but I think you'll like it. I think you're going to like it. A Western North Carolina, place. And so it'll be neat. Something to look forward to. Let's see. What else do we got up next here? 1 second. I'm going to go off camera for a second. I had to blow my nose. Not the information you needed, but sorry for the disruption. All right. So the next housekeeping here we have, let's go to, I didn't do much in the way of pictures. I stunk again here on this. Let's just go to, let's just look at what we got, though. Maybe I'll make you guys hungry. Let's see here. And got it up. First up, we got this is a cool sign. This is the entrance to the Blue Ridge Parkway. If you didn't know, here in Asheville, the Blue Ridge Parkway obviously is a scenic route. It goes right through Asheville, but there is a section of the Blue Ridge Parkway that is really a thoroughfare between A and B of parts of the city. So there's no commercial like property, shooting off of it, but it can be convenient. So I hopped on it to get from point A to point B. Nobody was behind me, took a picture of the sign and got a quick picture of the road too as well. It was a little bit overcast yesterday, but such a pretty sight. All the winding roads and the trees. Can't really see the mountains, but I was in the mountains right there. So very, very cool. And then came back and, of course, had to cook some dinner. You can see a little flame broil burgers or whatever, flame grilled burgers, hot dog. corn on the cob, and it was a gorgeous evening yesterday. The temperature was just fantastic, and had a good dinner, and then had the same dinner tonight because there was so many leftovers that's what I ended up having today as well. Let's see if anybody said anything about this stuff. Um, Catching back up. Hi, Jennifer Rathbone. Good evening to you, and hope you are having a great start to your week. Nice Monday. Thank you for joining us. I know I got on here later tonight, so glad you're able to join. Have you ever seen bears in your yard or close to your area? Yes, have seen bears. Not like what I've seen when I've stayed in cabins in Gatlinburg area of Tennessee. And I think in large part over there because humans do what they're not supposed to do, which is either feed the animals or they naturally find it outside of garbage cans that aren't locked up and other things. So they tend to be, in heavy population over there. Over here, we do have black bears in the vicinity, in the area. People around here take pictures of them, and I have seen them in the yard. The thing is, sometimes they're at such a distance that if I see one and I zoom in and I take a picture, they're horrible. But I try, if I do admit it, trust me, I see one, I will definitely get a picture. It seems like when I go for walks and stuff, I always see deer. I see a lot of deer, and depending on the time of year, I'll see turkey, but I don't always see the bears. But yes, the bears are around. The black bears are around. I may have to go soon. It's almost my bedtime. I'm trying to stay as long as I can, though. Yes, and thank you for any time. And of course, as always, you can catch up on this live stream later on the Mr. Mountain YouTube channel. Hope Face. So feel free to, if you're tired, please, anybody by all means, rest. I know it's later. It's 10:30 East Coast. That is the Instagram account, Mr. Mountain_man. The love bugs are back again down in Florida. You got to go to Advance or AutoZone or Walmart, pick up your love bug spray and get those things off your car before they mess up the paint. They are crazy. I remember the first time I saw them. They're not quite as crazy. Larry, who's on, I think he's still on the live stream, might be able to test to what I had seen when I was up at Put-in-Bay about 20 years ago. I think it was actually like 1999, 2000 time. We got up one morning in Port Clinton to go to Put-in-Bay, and our car was completely covered in what they call mayflies, because they come, they hatch, they come out, they land everywhere, they stay in one place, and then they die. I have a picture. It was from a 35 millimeter camera, because back then it wasn't digital, of the Ford Contour my parents had at the time. Literally every 1 to 2 inches, there was one of these mayflies. They don't sting, they don't bite, they don't do anything bad. They were thousands all over the car. It was incredible. And you kind of feel badly because you walk and they're on the ground. It's like crunch, crunch, crunch. So the mayflies are kind of crazy. If you want to Google like mayflies, Lake Erie or something like that, you'll see some crazy pictures for sure. Hey, Dr. J. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man and family. Hello to you as well. Thank you for joining us this late evening here on the Mountain Man Monday live stream. I hope you are doing well and having a great start to your week. Thank you, AZ Rock, for that, and I appreciate it. I will say that out of the corner of my eye, I usually see about how many people participate, and I see about that many thumbs up. So I would say that everybody here is sweet and kind and doing and following suit. I think that's always very, very kind of the community that we have here. And food is always a food. Looking good. Yes. I don't know why those hot dogs look that color in it. They look like some weird orange color, but they were good. They were good. They were good hot dogs. I actually didn't eat one of the hot dogs, but that was for the kids. They could have those too. You're making me hungry now. Yeah, I know. The grilled food will always do that. I always love some grilled food. Looks delicious. Yes. Daughter and I might travel some of the Blue Ridge if we get there in October or November. So, Rita, you've already hinted at unknowingly 2 of the stories that I have coming up here in the news and notes. Foxy has gone beginning to end numerous times, and there is no bad part on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Yes, the mayflies. That's the ones. Yes, the mayflies. Hate those love bugs. They will peel the paint off your car. Yes, they will. Mayflies are no joke. Is it lightning bugs? They are not lightning bugs. I think Actually, I think lightning bugs would be cooler, especially at night, because it would look like a spectacle. But mayflies are different. You have to Google it. And maybe if I can find that picture, this is a stretch. Don't hold me to this, guys. But if I can find that picture, I could scan it. I'd have to scan it, and then I could upload it digitally to the Instagram channel. I'll try to do that. You grew up by Port Clinton. Port Clinton's a beautiful area. We used to stay at the Island House, which I'm sure is still there, and it was historic from like, I don't know, 1800 or early 1900s. We used to stay at the Island House. We used to take the Jet Express over, go have fun, come back, stay at the Island House, and then we would go to the NASCAR race up there in Michigan, in Brooklyn, every year. My dad and I did that for like 20 some years. We didn't go to Put-in-Bay all those years. The early years, I was too young to go over there, but yeah. They mess up fishing too. The perch feed on them, so they don't bite well when the mayflies are around. Okay. Cicadas should be here in a few days. So I saw the some articles about cicadas today. I didn't put that in the news notes, but I did see that as well. Reading your comment there, Larry, just brings back some memories about perch and talking about the mayflies and Put-in-Bay and stuff. I'm telling you, somebody should have a YouTube channel if they don't, from Put-in-Bay. That's a cool place. I'm telling you, it's the most, I always say it's the most underrated because I've never heard anybody outside of Ohio talk about Put-in-Bay, and it's a super awesome place. Like, a lot of people live in the Midwest, don't need to go that far in the summertime. It's a amazing place to go in June, July, and August, and have some fun up there. The lightning bugs showed up really early this year. They were out a few weeks ago in the swamps in Florida. Okay. Yep. I think we're getting into peak season around here for that. Posted here as well. I don't have other platforms as far as social media. Well, yeah, and no problem, because each week when I cover Instagram, I'll be able to, show you the picture here if I do end up getting that. For tips and tricks, cars and tools, check out Mr. Mountainman's other YouTube channel, The Eclectic Handyman. I did have another upload over there. I actually, for those of you that follow me there, I think Rita, AZ Rock, Foxy, Larry, the four of you guys I usually see over there. I have a backlog of Craftsman tools that I have picked up in the last 6 months, but I'm spacing the videos out. One, just because naturally of time, and two, just to trickle them in. But a lot of the things that you're seeing, like those wrenches that I put on the other day, I got those in October, I think, maybe September, and they've been sitting there that long. So yeah, a lot of the stuff that I'm getting, I have some other cool stuff, some other cool Craftsman stuff. Oh, and Hope Faith, you're on the other channel as well. Fantastic. So yeah, all the things that I'm talking about apply to you as well, knowing about it. Key West to the north, aka Put-in-Bay. It is absolutely that kind of vibe, which is funny because I used to live in Florida, never went to Key West, never went to the Keys. I was down there for 12 years, and it was weird. I'll tell you why. Because once you live in Florida, and this still isn't a great reason, because Key West is a cool place to go, but once you live in Florida, you're already at the beach all the time. And so to like pay money, save up, and go on a vacation to another beach is just kind of weird. It was like, why are we going to pay a lot of money when we live at a beach or near a beach already anyway? So yeah, we didn't going down there. All right. So yeah, so new video will be coming soon on the Mr. Mountain channel, and I think you'll like it. I think it's going to come out pretty nicely. And yeah, I think that probably does that for the housekeeping of the week. Excuse me, housekeeping for May 17th, 2021. You need to go to the Everglades. Well, I believe Mike is down there and some other folks. Did I take myself out of focus making a hand gesture again or doing something? There we go. Back in focus. Oh, no lightning bugs in South Georgia. Okay. They should be coming here in the mountains shortly. So let's get to news and notes of the week of May the 17th, 2021. This is a segment of most of you already know, but anybody listening in the background, I do a little housekeeping, just kind of what's going on in the Mr. Mountain Man community. And then I do a news and notes, which are fun, interesting, intriguing articles that act as a catalyst for us to have a conversation stemming from Western North Carolina, the mountains, and beyond. And so that's just a little background on it, and it is a fun activity that we do here. So let me go ahead and get this fired up, and share the first article. There was a question in relation to the gas shortage, so I wanted to give an update on it. And let's see when we see it here. Here we go. All right, Pump Patrol from WLOS, which is a local news organization here out of Asheville. Finding gas in North Carolina is getting easier, but prices in some areas remain high. I almost don't want to read the article and just attest to what's gone on here the last week. Let me read a few lines from this. And oh, and real quick before I get way behind the comments, happy half birthday, Hope Faith, to you. Yeah, that's cool. The kids do that too, when they're 6 months out. So from the article, it's getting a little easier, let me get a water, to find gas in North Carolina now that the Colonial Pipeline is back up and running. But the price you might pay might be a little higher. News 13 checked some gas stations in Buncombe and Henderson County. Buncombe is where Asheville is. Henderson is where Hendersonville counties on Monday morning. It's a mixed bag as far as what you find. Some stations have fuel while others have none. And there's limited supplies. There are people attesting to it. As of Monday morning, Gas Buddy's reporting that 52% of stations across the state are still without gas. Colonial Pipeline restarted Wednesday. That's last Wednesday evening, May 12th, and the company announced over the weekend that the system had returned to normal operations, delivering millions of gallons per hour. So check this out. This was toilet paper part 2. It really was unnecessary panic and hoarding. And North Carolina gets the Crown Gem trophy for being the worst. They were always at the top of the list for causing panic buying. And so here, the timeline of events was a week ago this past Saturday, there was the ransomware attack on the Colonial Pipeline, which they had to shut it down, which caused a gas shortage in the Southeast. If people had not gone out and panic bought, nobody would have known the difference. They were up and running by Wednesday, and the fuel trucks began to flow. But everybody got in this ridiculous mindset to go out, fill their tank every day, panic buy. And I can proudly say that I never once went out during it to go get gas unnecessarily. My Mustang was pretty much full. I didn't stop driving. I kept going to the gym. I kept going. I did whatever I had to do, but I didn't go out unnecessarily thinking, uh-oh, I see a gas station has some. Let me wait 30 minutes and go ahead and just top it off. Because I knew it wasn't like a long-term shortage or a real like supply issue or based on a war or some, terrible event, God forbid. It was a momentary blip on the radar. So the ensuing panic buying caused the craziness here. And that was a shame because there really was no need for it. But what are you going to tell people? And I still blame the culprit is social media. I think social media in general, fans the flames of any little problem. I mean, if you look at a year ago, I think it started in like New Mexico, like some of the Sam's Club and Costco ran out of toilet paper. And all of a sudden it started like wildfire on like Facebook and social media. People were like, well, I don't know what this means, but places are running out of toilet paper. I better go to the store and just buy toilet paper and paper towels. I'm not really sure why. I just know that I saw it posted on social media, so I better go do it. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And so, the gas shortage kind of followed that same behavior. And unfortunately, it caused that. But the good news is that it's getting better just as they mentioned it would. The pipeline started to flow again. Gas trucks are coming around town. And as of today, it's quite a bit better. I think all the people are running around town with a full tank of gas. So those of us that didn't unnecessarily buy and are getting towards, a lower tank, it will resolve itself well. I'd say by midweek or so, I'll probably need to get gas and everything should work itself out. So I know that I did briefly see over on my friends over on Yankee in the South, they did a live stream in Tennessee. It didn't appear to be as bad there as it was here. Here, I'm telling you, like everywhere was out. I mean, everywhere. I wasn't just on my normal path, not going hunting for gas, but every single gas station out. I mean, it was not like, oh, this one has at least 93 or something, nothing. Everywhere was out of gas. And that compounded the situation because it was so dry and there was no gas. If one got it, people would be like, well, I have to get it because nobody else has it. And it just kind of snowballed, domino effect. And so, yeah. So anyway, I hope that none of you got caught up into any of that, and it wasn't a big deal. I was just kind of looking out of the corner of my eye. It looks like uh, uh, Living Like Larry said, our gas never really went up anywhere. It's starting to go down now. Yeah, because I think up in Ohio. So if you looked at where the pipeline went, it was like in the southeast, like I think it was like Virginia, North Carolina, kind of going down. It was almost looked like I-85 or something like that. Not that I had the love bugs yet. Okay, just stay in Florida. No gas shortages in Florida. The only time there's gas shortage down here when a hurricane. And Mike, that's exactly what it reminded of. My wife called me last Monday. I was still working. She said, what's going on with the gas? And there's like lines everywhere. She goes, it's like we have a hurricane because we, live in Florida and that's what it was like. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, there's the pipeline thing from over the weekends. And then that's when I checked. And then last Mountain Man Monday, I had the article about the state of emergency the governor declared just for rules easing and stuff. And in that article, it said, don't panic by it. It'll be all right. Of course, nobody listened. It didn't happen. We did not run out of gas here and the price did not change. Good, good. I'm telling you, Asheville was like just terrible. Western North Carolina just stunk. It was really bad here. And so, again, thankfully, I was in a position just to keep, driving normally and didn't have to worry about it. My wife's car, she did have to get gas because naturally she was driving a little bit more, but it was never a panic buy. It was like, we really waited until it was like, all right, it's time to get gas. You better go ahead and bite the bullet and get in line and get some gas. Yeah. Yes. About the love bugs. Don't want anything that messes up your car paints. Yeah. Love bugs. Hope Faith is taking off. Hope everyone see you next week. Absolutely. I hope you have a wonderful week, Hope, and things are looking up for you. Absolutely. They'll take off the paint quicker than sandpaper. Yes, yes. They are for sure a mess. I would like to go to the mountains in the summer and go watch people slide on sliding rock water slide. Yeah, there is that sliding rock. And if you're talking about the same one, there's one over there in Pisgah National Forest. It looks super fun. The only thing about it is, and I'm not being a worrywart, but it's a natural formation. It's not like an official, and they let people, you pay $3 a park and you can go over there and you can do it, but you can get hurt there. Like you can bust up an ankle or a leg, cause it's like a big natural rock that you're sliding down. It's kind of like Skinny Dip Falls, which is another really awesome area up in the mountains. Beautiful, crisp, clean water. The people with the gas and the plastic bags in the back of their cars are the height of the stupidity and danger. It reminded me of the people who, speaking of hurricanes, use gas grills inside their house to heat, or cook. Sorry, not to heat. It would have been hot from the hurricane, or ran a generator inside the house. The carbon monoxide is poisonous. And so, yeah, people putting plastic bags. And then, of course, just like the last time people hoarded, there were a lot of people that, were calling them out on it, taking pictures. The famous one of the people with the white minivan with like 16 gas cans in the back of their car. I'm sure somebody could play devil's advocate and say maybe they had a landscaping business or their business depended on it, et cetera, et cetera. But I think for the most part, people were just taking advantage of the situation, and everybody likes to panic. So, anybody wants to chat with me during the week? Oh, there's your email. You're more than welcome to chat with me on there. Oh, okay. There, Hope. So if anybody's able to or has some cycles free during the week, let you know. Of course, we are happy to chat with you here on Monday as well. Our daughter almost didn't come up from Tennessee this week because her friend told her there was a shortage in Ohio. It hasn't affected us at all. And that was another thing was Gas Buddy, the app, was pretty good about reporting who did and didn't have gas. I did wonder about the people on the interstate at the height of it. Tuesday and Wednesday of last week was kind of the height. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I was coming home from the gym late one night and I was looking at the interstate and I was like, it did appear that there were less people because think about it. You're on a trip, you need gas and you're running out of gas near Western North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina. You weren't getting any gas. You were not getting gas. So it was crazy. And it's good. It seems it's isolated. Once again, we were the nincompoops right here because Dr. J over there in East Tennessee didn't hit anywhere that was out. So yeah, but here it was nuts. I don't know what it was with North Carolina. Foxy is right about that. I was being a little polite, but it is true. I didn't know if maybe, you know what some people do, they use like oh, well, two quick things came to my mind. Foxy is right. Just be aware, putting your personal information out there is not safe. The caveat to that is the Mr. Mount Man live stream doesn't have a whole bunch of people. We don't have hundreds and hundreds here. So hopefully nobody's really going to, you know, take that information and you know, sell it or use it in a malicious way or something like that. The other thing that crossed my mind is some people set up a secondary account that's not their main personal one for like public facing, kind of like you see on the channels and stuff like that people have email addresses that you can contact. So, but yet Foxy is correct. It's good in general to be, you know, conservative about there. Prices are about the same. The only thing that happened here is they started reaching up in the high twos, $2 range. They were like before that issue, it was about $269, and then it went up to like $289, $295, somewhere in that range. So yeah, most of the gas stations here had gas. They did go up on the price around $280 for regular. Okay, yeah. And Foxy, if you want to, you can't. That's up to Faith. Okay. I'm glad you guys worked it out. And by the way, very kind of Hope to reach out to the community, and also very kind of Foxy to put the helpful information. It's just what's great about everybody here. You know, everybody helping everybody out and being friendly. Hey, Fran. Hello, everyone. We just arrived home tonight from St. Augustine. No gas issue on the drive. Good. Up 26. We came into Asheville with 3/4 tank and 2 10-gallon legal containers for spare. Okay. Yeah. So, well, once again, this was the problematic area. So glad you didn't have any problems there. Yes. Sliding rock. Yes. Let's see. Oh, it's been great chatting with y'all. I need to get off here and go edit a video too. Will you enjoy? Everybody who doesn't know our show, our story does have a channel. Make sure you subscribe and check them out as well. And great to have you here. Yes. Hello again, Brian. Oh, no, I didn't say again. Hey, Brian Fisher. I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. No, nobody's upset. Nope. Foxy was just being very smart about the situation and was good. Yes, as mentioned, just wanted to keep it safe and just making sure. Yes, hello everyone. Hello. All right, so let's get to the next article here. Rita mentioned something about this, mentioning about coming in October, November, or something of that time. So here's the next article: the best time to visit Asheville. This is an article from lonelyplanet.com. I have not pulled an article from here before. This is a super long article, so I will try to abbreviate it. But to give you some backdrop, Asheville is a picturesque, progressive town in Western North Carolina. 11 million people visit the town each year. And really, who can blame them? Asheville is the state's artsy mountain hub. While Asheville attracts national attention for sites like the Biltmore Estate and nearby Pisgah National Forest, the town provides a wide variety of things to do throughout the year. Visitors can choose between hiking, skiing, bar hopping, or strolling through the River Arts District. With all these options, what's the best time of the year to plan a trip to Asheville? The answer to this question will be different for each traveler, depending on that person's preference about weather, budget, and their list of must-see activities. Here's the lowdown on this high-up town perched 2,134 feet up in the Appalachian Mountains. Number one, they said, well, this is, I assumed this is in order. The high season. So the high season, which is October. And in Asheville, trees are a big deal. And it's not just because the town has a reputation for being eco-friendly. October is the peak for the autumn's changing leaves. So it's also Asheville's peak tourism season. Leaves are forecasted to be at their brightest colors in the last half of October. By then, some Asheville hotels are completely booked. And by the way, I've mentioned that on the channel before. not only are they completely booked, they can go from like $80 to $110 a night, which is regular, like at a Hampton or something like that. And then they can end up going to over $300 a night. Renting a hotel room during the high season can run almost twice as expensive as lodging rates during the low season. But for the thousands of people who travel to Asheville each October, the stunning natural views and temperate weather are worth the extra expense. Leaf admirers can find the best view when they drive down the Blue Ridge Parkway. For most of the year, the parkway provides sweeping vistas of the aptly named mountains. Oak trees release enough isoprene to create a hazy mirage in the air, which creates the illusion that the hills are blue. That's awesome. I forgot about that fact. During October, the red and orange foliage contrasts against the distant blue mountains. Needless to say, visitors are sure to take some Instagram-worthy nature photos. The changing leaves are especially vivid at higher altitudes. Be warned, though, the leaves often change color more quickly at these higher elevations. Yes, so they're going to be at peak at those higher elevations before they will down in the valley or in Asheville itself. All right. Those who don't want to pull out their hiking boots can enjoy the trees in Asheville's municipal parks and trails. That's another one that I'm going to cover at some point. There's a couple of parks local to the town, that a couple of interesting ones that I'd like to cover on the channel as well. What they call the shoulder season is number 2. Shoulder season is from March to April and July to August. Best time to admire flyers. Best time to admire flowers, kayak, and attend concert. If October brings the color of rust red leaves, spring and summer in Asheville burst with the colors of blooming wildflowers. The feeling of cool river water and the strumming sound of banjos. The spring and summer months are some of the most beautiful that Asheville has to offer. In spring, cherry and pear trees begin to bloom. In summer, rhododendrons, azaleas, and mountain laurel pop up in the mountains. Visitors who want to see the seasonal flora for themselves can check out the Lake Lore Flowering Bridge. Oh, I'm not even aware of that. In 2013, community members upcycled a historic bridge into a garden paradise. Now the bridge is covered in flowers that pollinators and humans can both appreciate. During the warmer months of July and August, beat the heat by going kayaking or fishing. The water in the French Broad River remains cool for much of the summer. Asheville locals and tourists alike spend summer days wading or swimming in the French Broad, which is the world's third oldest river. In April, fishers angle for trout. All right, next up is the low season, November to January. Best time to ski. Some tourists avoid Asheville in the winter months. The narrow mountain roads can be hard to navigate when they are snowy or icy, but skiers can take advantage of the less expensive hotel rates and enjoy a winter wonderland. One thing I want to make a correction as an Ashevillean here. That is true, but not completely true. That gives the picture that Asheville proper is like difficult to navigate. Absolutely not. Its main thoroughways and roads and everything like that. That would be more aligned with if you were going up in the mountains to actually go skiing at a ski resort, that the to and from that area may be windy. And then the Blue Ridge Parkway closes at the drop of a hat if there's even a snowflake or anything like that. But Asheville proper during those months is really no problem unless there's some blast of a storm. So yeah, take a short drive from Asheville to experience some of the highest slopes on the East Coast. Skiers can take their pick from several resorts: Beach Mountain, Banner Elk, or Maggie Valley. Each of these locations boast snow tubing and hot cocoa galore. But Sapphire Valley Ski Resort guests can witness something unique: an outhouse race. Participants build an outhouse on skis, painting and decorating their DIY sleds before the big race. And so those are the three, kind of main times they talk about. It was, once again, it was, just to recap, it was from the high season in October, the shoulder season, March to April, July to August, and then the low season, which is in November to January. Also, another great time to visit during November to January if you're going to be here for the holidays, kind of get that Christmas type feeling, the winter feeling, especially from folks that are down south. The article was really cool because it continued on and listed every single month and what the high point of that month and what the weather was like. I thought this was a great article. Somebody asked which waterfall that is. I do not know. I don't think there was a caption on that particular one, so I'm apologizing. I don't know, but the area is laced and littered with picturesque places just like that. Let me see here. Oh, I want to go pet that dog and stand under the waterfall. Yeah. Do you see a dog? Oh, the dog is on the left. I'm like, I'm looking at the waterfall. I'm like, somebody's got good eyes. I can't see the dog in the waterfall. Pet the dog on the left and then go to the waterfall on the right. Yes, 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 yes. It's beautiful. I'm telling you, over, patience, comes some great things here on the channel, but I have a lot to, of that type of stuff to bring you guys over time. Just a plethora of stuff here in Western North Carolina. I just spent 53 for gas in my car. Yeah, it gets. I'm telling you, it's expensive these days. Even without the shortage, the prices have crept up, and not that the pandemic was good, but I remember a year ago paying about $18 or $25, and now it's about double that. On New Leicester Road near Newfound Gap, they're filling the pumps at the gas station. Also, the Ingles on New Leicester. Yeah, not the Patton one. Yeah, it's and I think you were here, Fran, for the last article. I think based on when your messaging was, but it should be getting back to normal. The pipeline's been running since last Wednesday, and gas is trickling back into the area. So, as folks, if they back off the panic buying and just gets back to normal. Again, I think the timing for me is going to be midweek. I'll probably need to actually get a tank of gas. Beautiful waterfall. Yeah, sorry, Larry. That's what I was mentioning. I had seen that out of the corner of my eye. I didn't see exactly where that was. Yes, and it is helpful for anybody who might need gas, especially if they're in the Western North Carolina area, because like it or not, right, wrong, or indifferent, it was the situation that it was. It was really pretty bad here in town. And so anybody who actually needed gas, especially if they were passing through on a long trip, I think that would have been a mess. At the same time, I'm not sure the dog would like that. Just kidding, says AZ Rock. Right. Some dogs like water, some don't. I remember our first dog loved the water, and our current dog does not. He can stand there on the rocks and stare. That's right. That's right. Is that leaf season, looker season as well? Yes. Leaf looker, leaf peeper. Yes. October, November. And it's interesting because leaf changing happens rapidly, but based on the type of tree, there's actually like this second wave that comes through. I remember last year I did the Tail of the Dragon video, and I had mentioned in it that there was still some good color, but I had thought that, I don't remember if I mentioned the video, I thought it was going to get into the tail, and it was most certainly not. It was like the initial batch of leaves had turned and we're going through the cycle, but then a couple weeks later, it was like another round of like the maples and stuff turned bright red. And so it is quick, like if you want the overall picturesque, single view, but there are stages at different elevations. I bet the pup is looking at those bones trying to decide which one to take, for sure. That is really cool. We may not get to see the fall colors, but I still love the views. And again, Rita, I didn't see your comment until after I said what I said, but really anywhere between October 1st and November 15th, I mean, generally speaking, you can tweak a trip to a certain elevation to try and find colors. For example, those folks that are on the earlier part of October need to go up to Mount Mitchell, because by then you'll start to get some color change. But it's usually too early for Asheville. A lot of it is dependent on September, the nights, and how things go. So this is not a given. Everybody asks, but it's just a generalization. But ordinarily, that's a little early. You go up above 4,000 or 5,000 feet, up to 6, you'll get some color change. So if you come to the area and you're like, you wanted to see it, you can still get it. If you're on the tail end, late October, early November, and a lot of it's done, you get to the main Asheville area. In fact, if somebody was really late, like say post November 10th or 15th, you could even go down I-26 to the just to the cross state borderline into South Carolina. You go down to elevation about 900 feet. Those guys are going to pick up additional colors. It's not the mountains, but if somebody really wanted to see the leaf change, they could go that way too. So there's something, there's a way to navigate the calendar, I think, so that somebody can get it. There's not like this 3-day period. There may be a peak, generically speaking, but you can kind of go up and down the mountain and kind of get that range. Rita's gone this time. Can't help it. Yeah, I know. We have such great conversations for sure. Love going to Asheville in December. You know, December is a great time because if you're going to go around, you're going to see lights, you know, for Christmas. It's getting cooler. You might get some snow, especially at higher elevations. It's a great time. We were there in November and the weather was great. Yeah. And so, you know, you're going to be hit or miss in November. Like one of the biggest, oh no, that was December. I was about to say one of the biggest snow we ever had. The biggest one we ever had that I was here was in early December, which is technically it's still fall. You know, winter doesn't start till like December 21st. So yeah, November, the weather can be great. Have you and your family ever gone kayaking? So we did in Florida, but not the hold on. Winding back the memories here. Not in North Carolina. We have done kayaking. We did a little bit in Minnesota with some friends at a lake. I did some in Florida. And if I don't know if Mike is still here, I did some in Florida where there were gators. And they told us beforehand, you know, if you see them, just don't poke at them or whatever. That's crazy. Like you have this piece of, I mean, Mike, I know you know, and you're very weathered and tough for that stuff. But man, if you're like a city slicker and you're getting in there in this water and you're like kayaking and there's gators, like I'm like, yeah, no, like I don't know. I mean, you fall in the water, it's just crazy. I don't know, but kayaking is fun. It sure is, and a lot of people around here in Asheville have kayaks. So because there's a lot of like places like the French Broad River where it gets narrower or some of the other offshoots. Hey, Mr. Carlos, you are not late. You are here whenever you want to be here. It's glad to have you. I got on late myself. The only one that can be qualified as late is me. I said 8:30, 9:30. I didn't get started till about 9:45. Oh my goodness, it's 11 o'clock. I did not see that. Not that I have to go to bed this second, but it's late. I always have a 4-wheel drive just for the mountains. Yes, just in case. You never know if you know if you're going to go off roading or anything like that. Over $4 here in Indio, California. Yeah, California is always much more expensive. No matter what's going on. About $2.70 a gallon. Yep. Yeah, not there. And $2.99 in Asheville. That's about right. It did creep up. I was saying earlier, we were at like $2.69 before the pipeline incident. Now it's like almost $3. Hey, Todd, coming in late to the conversation. I want to say that any time is the best time to go to Asheville. Always agree, definitely. And that's what was great about this particular article from the Lonely Planet here. Is that it basically highlighted every single month there was something to do and what was nice. If I had to say the best month of the year, it'd be very difficult. I'd have to be cliche and probably say October because of leaf peeping season and all the things you could do, hiking and everything. And it's not yet winter, and so it's just a great time. The month with the weather isn't great and it's kind of hit or miss, or might be a little too warm to do winter activities. Probably February. February is, it just it might still be cold enough if you're into skiing that you can go up in the mountains and do the skiing, but down in Asheville, the highs could be 55, maybe even 60 if it's warmer. It could be on the colder side. So, but nothing has bloomed yet because it's still winter time. So I forget what it said the high points are in February, but there's always something to do. You can go downtown and walk around, go to shops and eat and culture, museums and all kinds of stuff, for sure. Yeah, as far as kayaking with the alligators, yes. Canoeing is big there. $256 at Costco up in northern Ohio. That's on the lower end of everybody's reported. $389 in California. Yep. I would not want to be gator food. That is crazy. Yeah, same here, Rita, for sure. I remember thinking it was actually a work function. It was like a team building activity, and they took us out and to these offshoots off the intercoastal or something like that, and it was yeah, there were gators out. That was weird. I don't know. They were like, don't worry, as long as you stay in your kayak, you'll be fine. Okay. Great. So yes, if you want to check that out, Google Lonely Planet. If you didn't get that URL there, actually, you know what? No, I cannot click the link in it, but Lonely Planet in Asheville. All right, here's the last one. It's kind of humorous. Professional cornhole. is making its way to Asheville. Have you guys ever played cornhole before? I've never gotten into it. It looks like a lot of fun. That's the things, with the bean bags that you throw into the hole, opposite. It kind of combines like, a little bit of the art of bowling because of the way your hand pitches out, and the accuracy of darts, but not really because you're not throwing overhand. I don't know. And yeah, it's just kind of like an accuracy deal, but it's great for tailgating and all kinds of stuff. But an article here from Mountain X that says, and yeah, Brian's played cornhole. A lot of people play. I mean, you can get it for like, you can get a setup for like 30 to $100 depending on the quality of wood and stuff. I remember gassing up in Pigeon Forge to get home and thinking, surely gas won't go up $1.80 a gallon. Oh, I know, the old days. Yes. Everyone here has cornhole boards or console boards. I like horseshoes. Oh yeah, like that's even a better analogy. Yes, for sure. Fun game, getting big around here. Well, as you can see in the picture, they actually have some universities that do it. They have like professional cornhole competitions. From the article, American Cornhole League announced the host cities for the league's newest event series called the American Cornhole League Pro Shootout Series. Asheville is one of the 8 cities to host a pro shootout event this summer. The event is expected to draw between 200 and 250 professional cornhole players on June 11th and 12th at the Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville. Asheville is excited to be hosting the American Cornhole League Pro Shootout. Cornhole has grown in popularity nationally and is an event which we feel we will introduce our community to professional cornhole and opens the door to hosting more cornhole events in the future. Mostly known as recreational activity in the backyard or at tailgates, cornhole is one of the fastest growing competitive sports in the country, and the American Cornhole League is one of the fastest growing sport leagues in the nation. Western North Carolina is home of 2 professional American Cornhole League players in Danny Williams from Hendersonville and Tyler Stephenson from Clyde. Williams and Stephenson are the 64th ranked pro doubles team in the American Cornhole League. That's not a picture of them there. That was a stock photo. I've enjoyed being able to go to many different places all over the nation to play, but now to have not only the ACL event, but an ACL pro event in our local area is awesome. The 2-day event will be free for the public to attend Friday, June 11th and Saturday, June 12th. Championship will be broadcast live on the CBS Sports Network, June 12th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Maybe I should try to get in the background with like a Mr. Mountain Man shirt or something like, woohoo. No, but that's really cool. Let's see. Played cornhole, tailgating at a Lions game. Yeah, like if I go to Steelers game or, Buckeye game, everybody plays cornhole. It's just kind of thing. You're tailgating, cooking out, having some pregame fun and playing cornhole. I had no idea there were professionals. When I saw it was like ESPN on like New Year's Eve or something one time. I was flipping through channels and there was like a cornhole champion. Maybe it wasn't New Year's Eve. It was like a few days before because I think there was a bowl game that time. Sometime around the holidays, it was being broadcast. It's becoming a sport in schools here. Well, I'll tell you one of the great things about it is it doesn't have a lot of cost and anybody can get into it. So that is anytime you can connect easily like that, that's a lot of fun. Yeah, they show the game on ESPN. That's right. Parents must be proud that their kids are professional cornholers, right? Yay, my kids are professional cornholers, especially if it leads to a scholarship. If there was like a university that had a program or something like that. So, because I remember my alma mater, UNC Charlotte, that's how it caught my eye. I turned on ESPN and it said UNC Charlotte cornholers were on there. I was like, oh, that's crazy. I didn't even know. I didn't even know they had a program. So yes, it's definitely becoming, I don't know if I could watch it on TV though. Yeah, it's more of like fun to play than to watch it. Yeah, I think any sports that you can get into with a low cost of entry are, a little more, cornhole, but there's a lot out there. So baseball isn't that much, but you need a whole bunch of people to play. Basketball is you need as a hoop. As you all know, I've thoroughly enjoyed bowling in the past. Bowling, it can be expensive because in order to get your pickup ball and your main ball and get the drill, and if you really want to do it right, it's an initial investment of hundreds of dollars. Golf is the same. One thing I've been getting more into recently and back into is tennis. I really enjoy playing tennis. That's kind of fun. It's kind of weird to see a bodybuilder playing tennis. I'm a little clunky, but I'm actually not that bad. I'm not terrible, but that's fun. I see a whole new emoji being developed. That's right. And along that line, so can't help but laugh whenever I hear the name of that game, especially didn't Beavis and Butthead back in the day like Cornholio or something like that? That's what I think of when I hear that name. Yes, and Larry beat me to it. I am the great Cornholio. Yeah, that's what we were thinking on the same wavelength there. And so that's, yeah, definitely for sure. That's it. Yes, yes, yes. So anyway, check out professional cornholing if you're coming to Western North Carolina. You have to check it out here at the Harrah's. I was about to say casino. It's not the casino. It's the convention center that has been sponsored by Harrah's. And last but not least, the weather. Hey, what do you see at the end of the week there here in Western North Carolina, in the Asheville area? 80s. It is going to be mid 80s and warming up. Summer is a coming. And so, a few mild, moderate days here, but then it's going to creep up to the 80s and mid 80s. And I think next Monday was even higher. Now, when you check these temperatures here in Asheville, I know a lot of people travel to East Tennessee, like Pigeon Forge and stuff. Remember, Pigeon Forge, the elevation there is only like, I think, 1,100 feet or 1,000. It's also wide open a little bit more. And as you go north there, you're kind of out of the mountains and kind of like the hills area. It can be much warmer there. So, like Dollywood and stuff like that. So anyway, pulls a shirt over his head. Yes. And Beavis and Butthead. I remember I saw that movie in the movie theater, the Beavis and Butthead movie back in the late 90s. And I was laughing so hard. And I didn't have cable, so I wasn't privy. Like my parents didn't have it at that time. So I hadn't seen it regularly, but when I saw the movie, I was just cracking up. Looking at 86 or 87 later this week. Yes. We just skip mild spring weather and go right to the hot. It seems it's always like that. Even in fall, it seems to go from like hot to cold, and they miss out. Like, I guess the great, I would like to see a high of about 72 and a low of about 52, and just hover around there. So let's see. Today was the closest to that, 75, 55, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, a month or more ahead. Well, I think I said that at the get-go when I said spring has sprung and we're in full bloom and it's getting warmer. But I remember when I lived in Florida, like April was like summertime. I mean, it was getting in the mid to upper 80s. And by May, that was summer. And you're in South Georgia, so that's, kind of getting into that Florida weather. Yeah, no fall like there used to be. Yeah, it just kind of goes from one extreme to the other. So yes, indeed, folks, there you have the news and notes for the week of May the 17th, 2021. Well, you know what, folks? It is getting late. It is 11:12 East Coast. I do want to say thank you to everyone that did join here, albeit late this evening. I always look forward to talking to all of you, and I enjoy our conversations. And I hope you enjoyed the articles that I pulled for this week to talk about. And I always like to hear what's going on with you all and the friendly conversation that we have. And it's just a great way to start off Monday. So I'm really excited. Again, on this channel, I finally shot a video, and we'll be looking to putting that together. If I don't have it by next live stream, then it'll certainly should be by the next one. And it's not going to be a one and done in 3 more months. This is high time, and I want to be shooting a lot more videos. And then again, on the Eclectic Candyman side of the fence, there'll be stuff on that side as well. Rita's final thoughts here. Great live stream tonight as well. Well worth the wait. Pull out those videos for us. We will be waiting. That's right, on the Throwback Thursday. I need to get organized around that and dig some of those out because so maybe after I do this one that I'm putting together, then I can look at doing a couple of those if folks show interest in it. The one thing I was just trying on the channel was not to get super eclectic, because believe it or not, it does hurt the channel to kind of zig and zag, out of bounds and start doing stuff outside the genre that has the theme of the channel. But I think the things that I would pull in are still, themed enough appropriately for it. So certainly look forward to that. Larry, good night, everyone. Another great live stream, Mr. Mountain Man. Have a wonderful week and stay safe. Thank you so much. Yeah, Larry and Brian for stopping by. AZ Rock, great to see you. Thank you, Mr. Mountain Man. Always fun. Good night and have a great week. Absolutely. Great live stream night, everyone. See you next week. I appreciate that. Foxy Wolf, I hope you all have a safe and wonderful week and look forward to the great conversation next week. Absolutely. Pickleball is a cool game. Somebody was asking me about that recently. I have not played that, but that is certainly fun. Yeah, it's kind of like tennis. It's a shorter court and smaller net. Yes, it is. Great live stream as always. Thank you, Kenneth Oakes. I really appreciate that. Mr. Carlos, thanks for dropping in. And everyone else that did too. I really appreciate seeing you. I hope you all have a wonderful week. And until next Monday, take care. We'll see you later. And good night, everyone.